with other processes. So they're really wanting you to look at each key process in your system of interacting processes. What's not in the draft international standards? Required procedures. Now it's documented information. And that documented information, and we'll get to that further on down, the definition of that, because you can have it anywhere. But required quality manual, no more. It's more of a focus on the context of your organization. And nobody really used the quality management, quality manual.
Except the auditor.
Except the auditors, yes.
And all the high rail customers.
Yeah, and the customers, they would look at it. And I mean, you know, a lot of times what I would do with the quality manual is describe the quality management system and set it up to where it was based on the quality management system. So you covered the requirements of the quality manual, and you could use it in training management that came into the organization. It was a very good tool for that. Now, don't have to worry about that. Preventive action, there's no statement on preventive action. Management representative, like I was talking earlier on the leadership, it's covered in a different way, where top management gives responsibility and authority to a person or people, and there's 5 requirements for that. Part of that responsibility and authority is there is a requirement now that management, top management, does have to provide resources to keep the effectiveness of the quality management system. I don't know how many of you were involved with that, but a lot of times in larger organizations, the management says, go set up the quality management system. They give people the responsibility to do it and no authority to carry it out.
And no budget.
And no budget. And no budget. So go do it, you're responsible for it. You know, just come back and tell me when it's done, and it should be done yesterday. And it's just unrealistic, and it does not add value to the business. So that's changed. Exclusions. There's no longer exclusions that you can only take in Section 7. How they've covered exclusions is in Section 4, and we'll get to this too. They say, if it applies to you, if the requirement applies to your quality management system, write it up, you know, or make sure you are applying it. If the requirement does not apply to you, it doesn't impact your organization, okay? We're all big kids now. But they do ask for a justification, and that is in your scope and the context of the organization. It's purchasing. Purchasing is no longer in the standard, what they call its externally provided processes, products or services, external provider, or outsourced processes or functions. So now I'm going to talk about some of the new definitions, or definitions that have been introduced. And one is the context of the organization. It's your business environment, organizational environment, ecosystem of the organization. It's your business. And there's a combination of internal and external factors and conditions that have an effect on the organization's approach to its products, services, and investments and interested parties. So they're wanting you to look more at how this strategically fits into your business. And it says understanding the organization and its context. The organization shall determine internal and external issues, strategic planning, that are relevant to the purpose and its strategic direction that affect its ability to achieve the intended results of the quality management system. So you can kind of see how they're really drawing you a lot closer to being part of that business process. Risk. Never mentioned before in ISO 9001. Risk. Many of you here know what risk is, okay? It's the effects of uncertainty on an expected result. And you can look at it as severity versus probability. And one thing the requirements is not saying is that you can't take a risk or even a high risk. You need to identify that risk. And you can find ways of dealing with it. It could be that you want to take a high risk because you're trying to innovate. You're trying to radically change something. You're putting that innovation on something. So, but they want you to understand what you're doing. So that's risk. Knowledge. And I add this because there's organizational knowledge is a new requirement. And knowledge, available collection of information, being a justified belief, and having a high certainty to be true. So, knowledge, okay? Organizational knowledge. The organization shall determine the knowledge necessary for the operation of its processes to achieve conformity to products and services. And then there's this idea of documented information. And they're not telling you, you had to have this procedure, you had to have this procedure, that procedure. Here's the requirements, you have to meet with this or that procedure. What they're saying is you have to document the information to your quality management system. And the information, it's the information required to be controlled and maintained by an organization and the medium on which it is contained. So it can be on any media, it can be from any source. And so you can have web-based, keep your documented information web-based. And this is one of the things that they're moving to, is they don't want to kind of keep you in a box of how you maintain your documents or anything like that. They want to open it up. New technology, they're trying to keep up with the
But that's already in 2000.
Yeah, it is somewhat. It is somewhat. Yeah, it says any media. And the one thing I wanted to put down here too was information is meaningful data, because there's a lot of times people will keep data. They'll keep all kinds of information. They'll keep the, all 10 drafts of a document that they're going to, approve and use. And unless you're wanting to keep it for some specific reason, it's not that meaningful. If you have, for me, I develop quality management systems, start off, okay, what do we need? Define your system. What are your key processes? Then you start developing what documents you need. what